Order. Can we start with a roll call, please?
Sure. Bob Brand,
Here.
Carol Killian, Chris Bowler, Derek Harris.
Here.
Harry Lloyd,
Here.
Christos Mavronis, Ruth Traeger,
Here.
Keith Norden,
Absent and Monty Fletcher.
Lou Paris,
Here.
Kristen Weiss.
Mr. Chairman, I will let you know that, Board, that Carol and Chris both had sent me an email over the weekend telling me they would not be here. So show them as excused, please.
Okay. All right. Everyone has received a copy of the minutes. I hope everyone has reviewed them. Can we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. I'll second. Keith and I
Okay.
double check. Instead of Southeast Economic Development Council, on the third paragraph of Team Delicious comments, it's Southern Economic Development Council.
Okay. That change is so noted. Any other comments or any other comments?
Just on my name, it's Daytona Regional Chamber, not Daytona Beach on the minutes, under ex officio.
Okay, so noted. Other comments or conversation? Okay. All in favor to approve the minutes, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, let's move on. Let's move on to reports. Volusia County Economic Development, Lou Paris. Welcome, Lou.
Thank you. Good morning. Really two things. We have, today is the last day to apply for the Volusia Launchpad Volusia. It's a program to help people with business ideas to figure out a plan forward, mostly a way to validate their market and to understand what's a right path to commercialize their idea, their service product. That cohort, which would be the second one under the county, starts on Friday, this Friday. And the other biggie is the Innovation Challenge, Volusia Innovation Challenge. We're currently taking applications, and the deadline for those is the end of this month. So the last day of January. If anyone knows anyone who has an inkling for presenting an idea, let's send them to the Volusia Business Resources, and in there's a little tab for Innovation Challenge. This year we made a more emphasis on something called a showcase, where people have the opportunity to present their product or service to the community without the pressure of a competition. So technically they would compete, but anyone who applies, whether they advance to semifinals or finals or not, they are welcome to participate in the showcase. So it's last year was very well received. It was very active, and we think that this year will be the same, if not more. And we're actually activating more prizes for that area. So please, if you know anyone or if you have any channels you can use to promote it, I would love you for that. So thank you.
Very good. Questions for Lou? Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation, we have Monty Fletcher.
Thanks, Bob. Keith says he is sorry that he had a conflict this morning. And next week we are exhibiting at SpaceCom, so we have several pre-planned appointments through the UK British Consulate General, the Miami office, so we're excited about that. Several arranged appointments and some others that have inquired. But until they happen, I want to keep it at that. Annual meeting details Thursday, March 12th. We're going to have Matt Tackett, who's the Executive Director of the Southern Economic Development Council, representing 17 states across the South, the excess of the American South, with eye-opening information, which, if we did know, just a little tidbit, is the largest economy in the world. So Frank had a successful time as co-exhibitor at CES with Select Florida recently. And upcoming for February, we are going out to the medical device exhibit at MDM West out in Anaheim. And then we are co-exhibiting with Select Florida at MRO Americas in support of our aviation industry locally, all of which align with our target industries. Thank you.
All right. Questions for Monty? Okay, thank you, Monty. Daytona Beach Regional Chamber of Commerce.
So just a few things.
Chris.
Our annual meeting is on February 2nd. Oh, sorry. So February 2nd. So if you still want to attend, there's still some tickets left to come see John O'Leary, subject of the movie Soul on Fire, which is number 3 on Netflix right now. If you have not seen it, I highly recommend you watch the movie. It's super inspirational, and it's not just going to be about John's life, but how he pertains to building communities and persistence and perseverance. So I think it'll be a very powerful message. Over at the News Journal Center, we are working hard on our Volusia Days, Tallahassee, which is February 23rd through 24th. We have a list of speakers already. I can send that out to you guys. And then we're also working on setting up some individual small group meetings with some of the representatives while we're there as well. So more to come. And then just a few, just a quick change on the staff update, staff side of the chamber. So David Robinson was promoted to VP of Government Relations last week, and we have also promoted Donna Knowles, who was our front receptionist, to business manager. So we are hiring a new program director because Lisa is moving back to Michigan, and then some receptionists for upfront. So
Very good. Good. Any questions for Kristen?
I do have one, Kristen. Do you foresee any conversations in Tallahassee about the property taxes?
yes.
Okay.
I don't know who David's lined up to set, but yes, definitely having some conversations around the property taxes for sure. And we'll have more information come out as we get the speaker set up, but also I gave him the task and the executive board gave him the task of setting up individual meetings with small groups. So, no more than 3-4 people in a group to go speak to whichever legislator that they set those meetings up with. So more to come, so we can send out more information as we get it lined up.
And the dates of...
It's February 23rd and 24th. So if you need a hotel room, David has a room block. So just let him know or let me know, and I can get it to David as well and get you registered. I believe it's a very affordable for an individual to go up to Tallahassee with us. So
I would propose it upon your return that we have an agenda item dedicated to that topic. So
Okay.
whatever you can report back to us, that would be great.
Perfect.
Well, I guess in your report we could do that. So yeah. But
yes, will do. Thank you.
Very good. Economic and Strategic Opportunities Report, Jeff Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me get my notes correct here. Okay, so we'll start with the TRT projects. There were 6 last month. Keep in mind that 2 of the meetings we did not have because of the Christmas holidays, so we really only had 2 meetings. So about on course and about on par where we're currently at, what we're seeing as far as activity on a weekly basis. If you have any questions about those projects there, let me know and I can bring up more information for you. You can see it's a kind of a steady mix between commercial, residential, some upgrades to Emory-Riddle as well, and Bethune-Cookman were both on last month's TRT. If you look at our CO report, you'll see that the multifamily actually had some units come on last month. If you remember, I think it was like 3 months in a row we did not have any multifamily coming on, so we have some projects that are now back into the mix and getting completed. The 35 single family is still currently about on par for where we've been running here lately. Joseph, thank you for bringing that slide up. Perfect. You already read my mind. So included in your packet and also now on the displays, went back to 2020 and looked at the number on an annualized basis per calendar year, the number of multifamily units and the number of single-family units that were CO'd during each calendar year. As you can see, that it's the single families kind of have 2 crazy years in them. Partly due, in fact, to the green one was a lot of latitudes, a lot of that development coming on in that development. And so that's why you see that one. And the 2025 was also the finishing out of latitudes as well, or 2024, I'm sorry. And so you see those 2 big spikes there, but predominantly we're running somewhere probably averaged out probably about 600 if you take out those 2 years, or a little bit about 500, I'm sorry, if you took out those two years. The multifamily shows a nice steady annualized kind of approach again of about 500 units. So you're looking at about 1,000. So each year on average we're looking at about 1,100 units coming on on any given year, which equates to a little over 2,500 people, I believe it was, when I was looking at the number. So, which kind of holds when you look at the population growth of the city. So it correlates up pretty well. And that's why you've seen our population go from 71 in 2020 to, was it 87 or 88,000 projected today.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, everybody's commenting about the explosion of multifamily, and if you look at that period, it's pretty constant.
It's one or two complexes a year
Yeah.
that are opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting and very telling
Yes.
group of statistics. Thank you.
Yeah, and that is per apartment or whatever multifamily unit it is. It's per unit, so it's not how many buildings, because that really doesn't tell us anything.
I don't know if you have, I don't know if you have the answer to this, but looking at our population right now, comfortably, with the amount of space that we have, how many more people do you think we could comfortably?
That is
How do you define
a,
comfortably? Is that really traffic? Does it really?
Because I noticed it's so much more traffic now. Even I had to do some hospital visits this morning, and it's just, yeah. Do you see? Because I see we have new units coming on constantly. I guess, is there a way of even analyzing or?
so I will tell you that as each development comes on, we should be looking at the capacity of roads, especially in it, and I know that it does happen. So when you look at, especially county roads in particular, so you're talking about Williamson,
LPGA.
LPGA, Clyde Morris, the county gets involved with those, and so there is a study that is done, and then what is called a proportionate share. That is also then applied to that. So they actually have to pay an impact fee for the future widening of roads and any other improvements that the county has, be it intersection improvements, all of those projects and those monies are calculated into that thing.
I think to answer partially, my experience has been that the only borders on development is the availability of sewer, water, and utilities. If you don't have sewer capacity, you can't accept new units. And I think we have plenty of sewer capacity, plenty of water capacity. So I don't think they would be a limiting factor to growth. But I think once those services start to get used up, then I think you'll see growth. That's been my experience here, both in Northern Virginia.
And I think you'll see that, transportation infrastructure never leads development. It always trails development, right?
Okay.
The development has to come first because they're not going to write checks for new roads if the development isn't there. That's just the way government works. So the transportation, and the Waypoint subdivision project out there on Tomoka Farms Road, I was involved in that, and I want to say they wrote a check for $10 million for transportation infrastructure.
Wow.
So, they write big checks. The developers write big checks. Now, how the government entities use it, is another thing. But they write very big checks for
Thank
road
you.
infrastructure.
Thank you. Let me know.
But to also answer your question, we know that we have Avalon coming down the road.
Right.
And so all of those units over a 30-year time horizon will also be coming in, and we already know those are coming.
So I guess we're preparing for soon to be like over 100,000 residents, and I said,
Yes, I think that's a fair statement, yeah.
I think you can count on that.
Yeah.
wow, that's good.
But the downside, as you talk about, is all the provision of services, because all of those have a cost. They have a cost to the police, they have a cost to fire, EMS, schools, all of those things. And so as staff, we last year looked at that, and that's why the impact fee increases were coming, because we know we're going to have to build new facilities, provide new personnel, and the hard cost of providing them. So new fire trucks, new police cars, or additional police cars. Let me say it that way. So you bring on a new officer, you got to provide them a car, gun, everything else that you have to provide for a police officer. All of those factors are already taken into account and already shown in some of the fee structure that we currently have.
Okay, 'cause the reason why I asked this question in the beginning, because I was thinking about what Mr. Parrish was trying to ask as far as dealing with property tax. Would this kind of affect this eventually, with us having income coming in to be able to handle these things?
That is a whole another can of worms.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the commission and what some of the other departments are looking at, but from where I'm sitting at and looking at things, there's going to have to be some, if it passes and passes through the Florida legislature and makes it to the ballot, what exactly does that look like, and then what is the potential impact to the general fund? Because property taxes pay not for water and sewer, because you pay for that on your water bill,
Right.
but it's the police, fire,
Yes.
parks,
Yes.
and what kind of impact? Not necessarily those, because that's public safety, so they're going to be the last things, if anything's to go. But some of the other things, parks, potentially street maintenance, those kinds of things, are going to have to be weighed. And how do you provide those services if you don't have this major income stream coming in?
Okay.
But I will tell you, and I haven't looked at in some years at the city of Daytona Beaches, but every place I've been prior to this, ad valorem property taxes do not even cover, in some cases, completely the police and fire departments. So if you were to look at the cost of the fire department, the cost of the police department, and just operational costs, not buying a $750,000 to $1 million fire truck, and look at ad valorem taxes and compare those two numbers, if it meets, you're doing good, but most of the time it does not even meet those two departments.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
the other kinds of fees then that are collected, communication, sales tax, revenue sharing they get from the state that pays then the rest of everybody else. It's general revenue.
Yes. Yeah, because my constituency, they were looking at this issue of growth, maybe the absence of property tax, and they said one of the first things that's happening is they're cutting out dealing with parks and a lot of our youth services, being able to have facilities to be able to go to, because right now it's a waiting list in our area for people to even use for youth. And when young people don't have anything to do, they find things to do. And so all of these things weigh. So, us just looking at this, that's the reason why I threw that question out. It's a method to my madness. I'm just just trying to see how we can make sure that we look to the future to be able to handle this.
No, those are good points. And matter of fact, I'm responding right now to a media request, and they're asking those same kinds of questions. And so I'm trying to think about how to answer those questions and give them some kind of response that indicates some potential issues there with, because nobody wants to pay property taxes. I get that.
Right.
I don't like paying them. But if you want to have certain amenities, you have to pay.
I noticed in the commission agenda for tonight, the city is planning to purchase some land on A1A and Main Street and Coat Street, I believe.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there a plan for development of those lots?
Yeah.
Also was in the newspaper this morning.
Yeah, and that's actually handled through our CRA department. And so I know that we've had, and I've been involved in several conversations with them, not recently, but in the past, about potential uses for that property. So I know that there is some thought about developing them on the long term, but there is some short-term plans as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Other comments? Okay, let's move on to old business. Discussion of 2026 board goals. Now would probably be an appropriate time to discuss this.
So, Mr. Chairman, we went through last month looking at the compilation of all the goals from the members that had responded. And sitting down, and me and the chairman met a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, yeah, to discuss bringing the goals forward. And I thought the best way for that to occur would be from a memorandum from this board, and in particular the chair, to sign it to the mayor and commissioners about things that, as this board is instructed to do, is to advise the city commission on certain issues that affect the business community, and taking then that structure within and inserting your goals based upon the comments we received at last meeting. That is how we ended up with this document that you have before you this morning. And so if we, the first section just says basically that the comp plan says that we should encourage a diversification of the city's economic base so that light industrial and business employment and other clear basic economic activities will increase. That's kind of your mission, and your focus should be. The Economic Development Advisory Board, as we move into the 2026, the board identified several critical areas where focused municipal action can significantly improve the city's investment climate and long-term prosperity, and then request that they consider the following strategic priorities. This first one, the chairman and I were having in our meeting and having a conversation is, basically, let's get a strategic plan. Let's get a vision for the city. And the Daytona Beach is unique in that not a lot of cities are both a tourist coastal community and then a mainland, I'll call it normal functioning city.
Right.
Most cities are either one or the other. I go back to Panama City and Panama City Beach. That Panama City Beach was definitely a tourist-driven community, whereas when I was in Panama City, we were more of your traditional city, even though we did have tourist elements because we were so close to the beach. But that there needs to be, they're kind of two distinct communities within the city. And so therefore the beach side and the mainland areas are unique, have their own issues, have their own characteristics, and therefore really have a vision for each section, each community, if you will, each broader community, and then that then support a main vision for the city. And that's where that first bullet point comes from.
And I would add to that, there are different factions in each of those that are competing for city resources, and that's where the vision from the city commission really needs to be crystallized, so that those resources can better be allocated.
Yes. The second bullet then gets back into the addressing the longstanding A1A issues. do an evaluation of does our image deter capital investment? And then if so, how do we move forward to improve that image? I think some of the things that are occurring are Aero coming on, Boeing being located in town, I think are going a long way to changing the viewpoint, I think, from others outside, at least in the business community. But as a whole, how do we address our image in that we're not just the Speedway, we're not just special events that occur in town, we're more than that. And I think that, like I said, I think with the investments, the large investments that we see coming on, the new Amazon also coming on, that I think it shows that we're more than just that. And I think when you look at some of the other positive press we've gotten, depending upon your viewpoint, and when we go back and talk about growth, U-Haul just came out and identified us as one of the top 10 places, I believe it was, in the country that people are moving to, or at least U-Hauls are arriving here. That says a lot. And also when others look at our population growth and, people don't move to bad places, So I think all of those things are beginning to maybe kind of turn the tide. That we're just a little sleepy tourist town, and that's all that we cater to. So I think, in some respects, that has changed and is changing. And then, what mechanisms need to be in place to drive higher quality and potentially even luxury development on the beach side? The next item is to improve our key gateways, such as LPGA, Williamson, Clyde Morris Boulevards, and Bevel Road, through median enhancements and beautification overall to strengthen the city's visual identity and visitor experience. So, as the chairman has talked about on several occasions now, that those are our front doors to the community, and how do we make our front door look appealing, and as opposed to just show up here and then leave, but how do we entice you to want to come more and potentially even move here? Either yourself or your business as well. Combat blight citywide by enforcing the demolition of condemned structures and establishing grant and tax incentives for revitalizing empty or neglected commercial properties, including providing information on opportunity zones. I know we talked about it.
Right.
I think Keith also gave me a name also as well, and he was supposed to be setting up a
I
email
reached
meeting.
out through Lou as well as the contact at the Florida Department of Commerce. So I don't have anything pinned down yet as far as a speaker, but we're working on it.
All right. And as soon as we get somebody, we can, if they're Tallahassee, we can bring them in during our meeting here, during Teams meeting or Zoom, and have them be a part of our meeting and the discussion about that.
And the opportunity zones for the lines are being redrawn for opportunity zones within statewide, actually nationwide, I think. But
yes,
but certainly that affects us, and it looks like we're going to have there's a proposal that we have much more of the city being in opportunity zones, and what are the implications of that? How can we take advantage of that in redeveloping some of our community? So,
If I may, recalling from the Secretary of Commerce, Mr. Kelly, I believe that we'll have the capacity to submit potential sites for consideration for opportunity zones. So if there are some that maybe go away or some that you feel like should be that are not yet, I would consider identifying those before we bring in the bigger guns.
and that was part of the conversation we had initially with opportunity zones. Is we want to have some say in where the lines are drawn. So sounds like a party back there.
Party time.
Yeah.
No word yet on the maritime opportunity zones, which could be a totally separate subsect of opportunity zones, which would mainly focus on the marine industry, shipbuilding, etc.
Interesting. Interesting. I was not aware that there was a marine component to it.
Yeah, there's a big push. There's, I don't know, 50% of President Trump's cabinet are Floridians. And so there's a big focus on Florida getting business advantages. I guess you could say, you know, that we're kind of front and center right now. So the Commissioner of Maritime now is from Florida. So there's a push for that.
Oh, very good. Very
Yes.
good.
The last bullet point is was implement beachside reforms such as allowing vacation rentals in marginal zones. And then follow it up there with the last comment about implementation of recommendations will contribute to a more vibrant, prosperous, and resilient Daytona Beach, and that y'all remain available to collaborate on these incentives. So if there's any suggestions, let me know, and we'll amend it as needed, and then circulate it back around, and then if not, we'll get the chairman then to sign it, and we'll get it to the city commission.
Yeah, if we could get comments in the next week or so,
Yeah.
so we can get this to the commission prior to our next meeting, I think that would be good.
I think it's very well articulated. I really covered a vast amount of things that we really need to do.
Yeah, and I apologize, I thought I had
That's really
sent
good.
this as part of the attachments,
Oh, okay.
and that's why I was late, because I was trying to get it printed, and
Always
I
happy.
have to log into another computer, and then it's not printing, and then I had to email it to somebody else, and then they printed it for me. So it was an interesting 10,
Okay.
15 minutes.
All right, very good. Okay, any further comments on the 2026 board goals?
No, I think that putting the mission statement on the agenda was a really good idea. I'm a big fan of mission statements. I think it keeps us focused. And just that little small font, I think that's really good,
Thank you.
really good.
Well, we appreciate the suggestion.
Very good.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Really good.
Okay, let's move on to new business advisory board appointments. Jeff?
So, and matter of fact, even this morning, this even kind of took a turn that I was not expecting. So, as liaison to this board, one of our jobs, and reminded frequently by the city clerk, is that we're to make sure that we keep everybody on the board that's supposed to be on the board and get reappointments when we need to. And so, can I share your?
I'll do it.
Okay, so let me stop for just a second. So put a pin in what I just said, and then I'll let Mr. Lloyd make a comment, and then we'll go, and I'll
Okay.
go from there then.
I just wanted to take the opportunity to say that we're going to be moving out of the area at the end of the month, and I won't be serving on this board anymore. I'm going to be
boy, that's
moving to
too bad.
South Carolina. It's a bittersweet move, but one I think is right for the family. I just want to say that it's been a pleasure and an honor to be on this board and to share this time with you guys. I learned a lot, hopefully contributed a lot, and wish you all the best.
We are certainly going to miss your contributions and you. Thank you for your time with us, and we're sorry to see you go.
Yeah, thank you.
So when I got that message a couple of weeks ago, and then also back to the city clerk's encouragement for the liaisons to keep up with their board, caused me to then get out the roster and to look at when are some of the dates. So those that are highlighted in yellow are going to be termed out, for lack of a better term, at the end of next month. Now, keep in mind that members of this board, unlike other boards, serve until they're either replaced or they leave. just on their own. So in this case of Mr. Lloyd, even though his period would ended up in, or we'll use you, Mr. Harris, that we had not been doing our job in keeping up with the roster and when people are supposed to be appointed and reappointed. You could still serve until we reappoint you or you decide to leave. But pulling this out, I know that the chairman, Mr. Rand, and Mr. Harris are due up, and Mr. Lloyd was also due up on the 26th of, or the 28th of February, 2026. So I know Mr. Lloyd will not be asking to be reassigned to the committee. But if the chair and Mr. Harris want to, if you can let me know, I can talk with the city clerk and see if we just reappoint you or if you have to go through the whole application process, which I hope you don't. But if you do, then we'll get you through that process as well to get you reappointed. Also, I will let you know that late last night, Christos did send me an email that he is resigning effective immediately. So there will be a new person also being appointed as well. I'm going to have to get with the city clerk and work through because he's due the 27 in 2027. That there was supposed to be staggered terms, and we're kind of getting everybody kind of glommed up into one time frame, and so I need to check with her and figure out a strategy that we keep everybody off of eventually ending up on same dates. So if you two can let me know.
Yeah, I'd love to keep serving.
Okay.
As would I.
Yeah.
All right. So I will check with the city clerk and find out how we want to go through that process.
Okay.
And you'll probably be appointed, probably the 28th is when we'll probably have that on the agenda.
Okay.
But I'll double check with the city clerk to make sure.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Jeff. Public comment period. No one waiting outside? They're lined up out there. Next scheduled meeting is 8:30, February 18th.
Yes, sir.
And with that, we'll adjourn.
All right.